Hi, I'm Amy Krum, and welcome back to Executive Insights from Independent Thinking. I am here with Bob Salvano from Whirlpool. Hey, Bob, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I am wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, it is always great to spend some time with you. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So now it has been a little while since we actually got to spend some time together and talk about what has been going on within the industry and within Whirlpool. So catch us up. How are things going?
Things are going great. We're having a phenomenal show. We certainly last fall, we had our entire sales team here that represent the nationwide group. This year, we brought not only our sales team, we brought product folks, merchandising. We brought some folks that support some of the other revenue streams like Afresh and Gladiator. We wanted just all hands on deck. We know the industry is a little tough right now, but wanted to provide as much support as we could for the nationwide members as we possibly could. So it's been great. The booth has been really crazy the last couple of days, and we're excited.
We love to hear that.
Yeah.
We love to hear crazy booths. Okay, Bob, so you touched on it a little bit. There is a lot of uncertainty in the environment, what is going on within the economy. Will there be a recession? How long will it last? So what is Whirlpool doing to prepare retailers for what might be coming and to help them prepare their customers?
Yeah, no, great question. I think, first and foremost, we're really trying to focus in on our programming here at the show to be more tailored towards duress type items. Whether that be, advertising driving pieces or just things that they could step consumers to. That we've got a lot of support functions here. Our shopper marketing team, we've partnered with Nationwide to kind of help create some marketing assets designed around, that duress type environment. Advertisements that kind of focus in on what's in stock, things that our independent channel and retailers do extremely well. Delivery, installation, just to kind of separate them from big box to really focus in on conversion during these tough times. So yeah, a lot of emphasis here to kind of help our trade customers navigate through this uncertain time.
That is wonderful to hear. Now, I know that one of the issues that really plagued the industry for years, really, and it was very widespread, was supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
And we all faced it. We all had to deal with it. So what is Whirlpool doing now to ensure that supply remains stable, both for everyday items and also kind of those aspirational items?
Yeah, no, another great question. I think, certainly talked a little bit about it at the show last time, but, just the investments we've made in capacity in our people at the plants, diversifying some of our suppliers. We dual supplier situations where if one falls down, we have the opportunity to go to someone else. Things that didn't exist maybe before COVID. So really have assured things. We're always going to run into issues. We did before COVID, but I think we're in a much better position. And proud to say, like, our backorder position now is pre-pandemic levels.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we're in a really good position and really excited to start getting out and get back to basics and selling again.
That is wonderful. So as we look at Whirlpool, everybody knows Whirlpool. It's one of the longest, oldest brands in America, very well trusted. What role does the independent channel play in your go-to-market strategy?
Oh, just they're huge. I think just what they do each and every day, how they represent the products, showrooms, sales associates, even post-purchase, and from a service perspective, extremely important. And I think it does. They do an exceptionally great job in terms of representing our brands. The brand promises all the way to the consumer home. So they're huge for us.
Yeah.
Very important, and we certainly have not been in a good position in the last few years, but we're happy to be back and to be able to support them in a much bigger, broader way across our portfolio.
Yeah, and supporting the retailer is kind of a part of our focus here at Prime Time. So we are here in Dallas. We've been talking a lot this week about customer obsession and from the retailer's vantage point, how they can put their end customer at the forefront of their operations. But what is Whirlpool doing as well to support the retailer and put them at the forefront of your operations?
Yeah, I think, some of the things I touched on before, whether that be offers, marketing support, we're really putting a strong emphasis on training again. I think, currency was inventory before, and now like our sales team, probably in a lot of cases, their sales associates, just getting them back to basics from a training perspective, how they can, represent the products on the floor. Having it in stock's not going to be good enough.
Right.
So
you have to be able to differentiate on
absolutely.
All the other factors.
So I think really trying to support them in that initiative, kind of helping educate their sales associates on some of the fundamentals, whether that be selling 101 or just some of the feature benefits as they kind of merchandise their floors and plans to sell. So that's a big focus for us for sure.
So as we look at this year and kind of compare it to last year and the years before, are you seeing any changes in promotionals or incentive offerings?
Yeah, I it's starting to get a little bit more promotional
Yeah.
for sure. And I think as inventory across the industry starts to grow, I think that's certainly putting a little bit more pressure from a promotion standpoint, as well as just business being a little softer
Yeah.
than normal. So I think we're certainly trying to focus in on the right offers, the right time frames to kind of help drive traffic and conversion for the trade. But it's definitely been a little bit more promotional than what we would have anticipated.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, wonderful. Well, what about luxury? So, I think one of the things about the Whirlpool brand is that you really have an entire range of
Mhm.
products, from what you would kind of consider an entry level model all the way up to something that is much higher end. So tell us a little bit, are you still seeing a demand for luxury even as disposable income rates seem to be dropping?
Yeah, I think it's certainly, with maybe the builder industry being a little bit softer. Folks are still staying in their homes and remodeling,
Right, yeah.
as opposed to going out and buying a new home. So we are seeing a pretty good steady business as it relates to Gen Air. And as we kind of like lean back in from a KitchenAid perspective, a brand that we have not been in a good position from an inventory standpoint, we're leaning back into that space and really seeing some great business, whether it be flooring conversion out with our trade customers. So it's been much more steady than, say, the mass brands at this particular
Well, that
point.
is that's very good to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
What about e-commerce? That is one of the things that really ticked up during the pandemic. People got a lot more comfortable buying online, and even if they're not buying online, they're still researching online.
Yep.
So how is Whirlpool supporting retailers as they ramp up and continue their e-commerce
Yeah,
efforts?
no, great question. It is extremely strong. We know consumers start there, whether they transact or not. And I think just we're trying to lean in from a content perspective, making sure that, again, with our shopper marketing team here, that they're able to help with our trade customers to make sure that they have some of the insights, even within our branded sites, what's working from a content perspective, some of the things that we're doing in that space. So I think just kind of leaning in there, as well as from a co-op standpoint, we're allowing them to utilize their co-op dollars to enhance their overall content on their site. So I think it's important. It's a huge space that they need to be leaning into for sure.
And you mentioned co-op, and that is a program that is 100% co-opable.
Yep.
Nationwide handles all the paperwork.
Absolutely.
So it's a very easy turnkey promotion
Absolutely. Ties perfectly into what you guys are pushing here for sure. Yep.
We love that. So if you're not using your co-op, make sure that you look into that. Let's get the co-op used. All right. So as we wrap up, Bob, what is it that retailers can do to really better engage and partner with Whirlpool in the coming year?
Yeah, I would say, we've got, as I mentioned before, a huge emphasis on training, getting our folks in the stores, kind of working back through our teams on some of our priorities. I talked a little bit about it with the brand builder team on the main stage, was getting the floors assorted correctly.
Yep.
We've had to do things over the last couple of years, just put stuff in holes based on what was available. Assorting the floors to what's going on in the industry is a huge initiative. I think also just the training aspect, engaging with our teams, setting up training discussions with the sales associates, get them educated on what's on the floor, why they can sell with confidence. And then lastly, leaning into our marketing team. Got a lot of assets. We've worked with Nationwide Marketing Group in order to help them, leaning in there to really help from a draw and conversion standpoint.
Wonderful. We are looking forward to a very exciting 2023.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on Executive Insights. We'll see you again very soon.